Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, in this video, will be run by Irsyadi Ismail as a speaker. This is a group for Irsyadi Ismail and Ammar family. So, without further ado, we're gonna move on to the objective of this video. So, what we're gonna do is that, as per instruction from Dr. Zakaria, we're gonna download data from ASEAN and CLMV countries, without them, sort out, share and compile graph, and then interpret the graph. So, in today's video, we'll do two kinds of factor that we want to search on, which is health expenditure and education expenditure, which because we wanted to find the two components of human development index. So without further ado, what we're gonna do first is that we're gonna search on the website of World Bank data, this, and then from there, you get this kind of website, and then you're gonna click the data bank. So from the data bank, what we need to do is that okay, since we're doing the ASEAN 6, this is the ASEAN 6, Brunei, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Philippines, Thailand. However, keeping it short, I'm gonna show it. We'll do Brunei and Malaysia. Okay, we have Brunei and then Malaysia. This is just example. I have clicked all the 6 countries if I wanted to do the ASEAN 6. So the series is the topic. Current health expenditure, we don't need to change it unless we're going to do the education expenditure. So time, we're going to do for 10 years between 2010, click until 2019. This is before 2020 above. It's quite hard to get the comprehensive data. So just click the download option and then the Excel button. So at first, you're gonna receive the data to be like something like this. It's quiet and neat and not tidy. So you have to make it much more better. Here, what you want to do is to fill up them and then every single stuff. If you have 6 component, then have to do it for the 6th one because we're doing a 10-6. But this is for just for the 6 to show how I did it. So this is the total. So from there, what we're gonna do is that we need to from the data that we save. Okay, something. Okay, for example, this is the one. This is education expenditure. This is healthcare expenditure. So we got this figure. We're gonna copy down this thing and then put in one sheet together with the cell every countries, which I did in another Excel, and then you get the graph something like this. So as per the interpretation of this graph, so we can see that ASEAN 6 is doing pretty much well in terms of health expenditure rather than the CLMV countries. I think because CLMV countries, there are a lot of potential room for growth for them to spend in their countries in terms of healthcare. Uh, we can say that ASEAN 6 is much better in this sector. Moving on to the next one, which is the taking time. Okay, moving on to the next one, which is the education expenditure. So what we have in here is that this is the ASEAN 6 education expenditure we have for 10 years, 2010 until 2019. Do the same thing, average the whole thing. You can see here I'm averaging all this thing, and then after that just drag it up until the end of it. Bring it up into one sheet together with cell MV output, and then just how do I do the graph is like just click insert and then choose the line graph. So got the same thing here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how you use the workbench data. You sort it a bit by tidying it up, and then create a graph by inserting it from Excel. And then last but not least, here I'm interpreting the graph. And to interpret the graph, to know the situation, you have to read up something. Why there's such a division like this one? So in this uh, part, we're gonna see that the ASEAN 6 is doing moderately well. Um, I think in terms of tertiary education, it's not hard in ASEAN 6 to achieve that. However, in CLMV countries, actually, it is pretty hard even to attain secondary uh, education. However, why there's such a division in 2010 and 2011? This is because a singular alienated data we received from Myanmar. So Myanmar, I think in 2010 and 2011, they spent around 50 billion just for education expenditure, and then it drops in 2012 because there's a political reformation in the country. So there's a policy change in terms of how they spend their education. So after that, most of the Islamic countries they just spend below 1 billion, to 1 to 2 billion below than that. So that explains why this graph is like this. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the summary of the video. Thank you very much for watching.